This is Manchester United, back-to-back wins incoming. That's what we're expecting, and why shouldn't we? Get involved with your own opinions in that comment section and let us know if you agree or disagree with your reasons why, and if you think Manchester United will or won't win against Brentford. Kick us off with your thoughts.
I'm excited, absolutely excited. It's Brentford away. More excited than I've ever been going to Brentford, to be honest. Everything, 2 games on the back-to-back wins. That's what I'm expecting. We've not won in 7 away games. So for me, I'm excited. And I do believe the people I've been talking to, they're excited. And I think you are as well, because this is a massive game. Yeah. 6 points out the last 2 games. That would be great going into the Sunderland home game. And then you just never know where we will be.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. I feel like I'm more excited going into this game than I was the first game of the season against Arsenal. I don't know if that's with anticipation that we will get back-to-back wins. I'm not too sure. Maybe some people out there might think I'm on that deluded train, but I'm firmly with my feet on it. Just got to go to Rúben Amorim's press conference first. Update is with some details. Ahmad is not available for United's game against Brentford. He's been given time off because of family bereavement. Also, Mazraoui is unavailable, with Casemiro suspended as well.
Yeah, well, what that then means is there's a right wing-back position. So for me, Delo been training, and I think he might come in. Is that what you want, Kieran? Are you happy with that?
Not what I want, but it looks like that's going to be Delo who's going to be coming in. I think he has been training again this week, so it looks like it's the likely option for me. And whoever does start, let's be honest with ourselves, we want to see the same level of aggression that we have seen against Arsenal, Burnley and recently Chelsea from the minute go from all of them.
I think with the team, what he puts out, I think it speaks for itself, to be honest with. My only doubt could be, like, is Mount available? Is he going to get in the team? Some people want him in, some people don't. But then who do you leave out? I just look at the game and I say to myself, it's not a matter of if we win, the pressure's there. I feel the pressure. It's we have to win. We have to get them 3 points.
Yeah.
I expected 1 point maximum against Chelsea, to be honest with you. 3 points against Brentford and 3 points against Sunderland. We're 2 points in front, and we need them points. They're so important going into this international break. So for me, 3 points. It's not a matter of if we win. We have to win. And I think Rúben Amorim sort of like alluded to that in his press conference, the way he spoke. It's important for these players to get the 2 wins on the trot, to get an away win in.
Matt in the chat says, yes, lads, got to be 3 points in it. United. Kevin Rees says, if we are really improving, or we're going to improve, and if we are really getting better, then we have to win at Brentford. And you've just mentioned there before that Chelsea game, this was the game along with the Sunderland game that we were demanding 3 points.
Yeah, well, you know, if we're going to get 3 points, the one thing I'm critical of, and a lot of views out there, is we need to improve on cutting out the crosses. That's where we seem to fail. I see it time and time again. We're playing well, and then suddenly there's a lapse. Someone's not picking up someone out wide. Next thing you know, they have a 1-2. They have all the freedom, get the ball in the net, and then we suffer. And we've seen that against Chelsea, to be honest. Even though we did a lot of good work against them, still cutting out them crosses. And I think that's a little bit of an Achilles heel with United. I think sometimes as the game wears on, we get players who sort of like stand and stare or try and rely on somebody else. But cutting out the crosses, that's what you want, because down the centre, I think they're absolutely playing well. De Ligt is bang on form. Yeah. And I think that back 3 are really working together. It's just the wing backs, there they are. And I'm thinking to myself, cut it out.
You mentioned Mason Mount before. I want to know who you are starting, in your opinion, in that front 3 positions. Does Sesko get another start against Brentford? But one player I think will be starting and be returning to Brentford, and that's Bryan Mbeumo. And Amorim did say in his press conference, it's really important for everything he has been doing, the light that he brings to the dressing room. He is not the guy who talks a lot, but he is always there to help. He runs a lot, he presses a lot. He is a different threat to what we had last season. And that's been clear to see, I think, in the first few games we've seen him.
Yeah, I think everyone expected something really good of this player. And when you look at him game after game, he's improving after game. His fitness is getting better. He's part of the team. He's linking up with players and that. And Amorim did talk about looking at experienced players in the Premier League and he says it's important you bring these type of players in. And then Mbeumo, I think he's going to go from strength to strength. Going back to Brentford, will it be a bit of an emotional ride? Maybe, maybe not. But listen, I think he'll go there and he'll want to score. And you look at the amount of chances United are getting, it's just out of this world, to be honest. I think the top of the table with the amount of chances, and then Mbeumo is getting plenty of them. So I think he'll be looking to score against his old side.
Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo, that's what I'm looking at as a front three, and I think he's likely to start against Brentford.
Yeah, sometimes Amorim really baffles me with the starting 11 and that, but I can't see it any other way. You look at the front three, that has to be Cunha, Mbeumo and Sesko. Some people might, and some people have been talking about maybe Mason Mount coming for Sesko, but that's a no-no, definitely no-no. And then you look at the back three, the centres, that's solid as far as I'm concerned. And then you look at the midfield, Casemiro's out, Kieran, so bring in Ugarte, and I think Ugarte there had a decent game against Chelsea. So I have no problems him continuing, and I think he's a good player. I think he's just gone through a bit of a spell.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I expected more from Ugarte this season, just like he did with the signings we made in the previous summer under Erik ten Hag. And I think the Lick's been the strongest one out of all of them. Obviously, Xerxes been injured for the majority of it or trying to regain match fitness, but I expected more from Ugarte. Like he fell off a cliff and hasn't recovered really from that pre-season game when we played Everton. A few shocking mistakes that he made early on in that second half. And for me, I want to see more of Ugarte, and I want to see him produce better performances, because I do think he's got that in his locker. Yes, he can be a bit limited with the ball at his feet, taking it off the back three or the goalkeeper, but that's something for himself and the coaches to work on every single day in training to get better himself.
I think he's got it, Ugarte. I do like him. I thought he had some really good games last year, and obviously the fitness and everything, we're having no pre-season, but there's no excuses now. I think he's had the kick up the backside from the pre-season, because he did get pulled by Amorim and he's been pulled since. So I think that Chelsea game would have done him good. Yeah. Being in front of the Old Trafford crowd, the crowd was going mental against Chelsea. All the players were up for it. Even at the end, you seen Cunha, when the final whistle went, just got the ball and booted it into the Stretford end. And I think with Ugarte, I think that will give him a lift to be in such an important game, because the game was important. And to get the 3 points, I think Ugarte will go on from here. And I think all the players will, to be honest with you. They just needed something. And I think in the dreadful conditions there, and getting the 3 points when everyone, and I mean everyone, Kieran, really expected United not to get a result against Chelsea. And as far as I'm concerned, United had the majority of the game and thoroughly deserved the 3 points. So for me, Ugarte, along with Bruno, because that's where he's going to put Bruno.
Yeah, of course, like I'm saying on air, and you are as well, and I'm sure a lot of yous out there, I'm demanding the win against Brentford here. I want the back-to-back wins, and that's not me sitting here like trying to disrespect Brentford as though they're a nothing team, because we've found it hard against them in the last 2 to 3 years, where sometimes they've even beat us as well. So it's not going to be an easy game, and putting it on some perspective here, they've not been beat yet at home this season, Brentford, so it will be a tough game. The last couple of games I've watched him away to Fulham, I think they were beat 3-1. It looked like they set up with an actual flat back five. At home to Chelsea, the same thing again. So you would expect us really to have some possession and some control in that midfield, surely, when you've got the likes of Bruno in there.
I think we'll have control in that, but I think when you looked at the Chelsea game, for instance, I think they've just got to go for the throat. They've got to go straight at them. We've got a centre forward there who can clearly hold the ball up, who can clearly outjump other central defenders. So for me, it's not a matter of trying to keep possession, pass the ball left, pass the ball right. That's no good.
Just go direct.
United have to go for the throat, and I think that's the way it's going to be. So for me, straight from the off, if you don't see aggressive football, because he talks about being aggressive when he looks at Mbeumo, for instance, and that's what you want. You want 100% from the start, players to go for it. It's Man United. That's what the fans want to see. Just go for it. Don't worry about the back. The back knows what it's doing. As long as they all work together, and they have been doing. So for me, go for the throat. And Sesko there, I think he might get 2 goals. That I don't know why. I've just got this feeling, because I think they will go for the throat. I think they will push them back, and United will have the space to get that early ball in.
Yeah, I think from, like I say, when I've watched Brentford over the last couple of games, I think they will sit there and try and what you call maybe low block us. And I think it will be important in how our wing backs do in this game to provide that width. I've seen Dorgu quite a lot this season get into some really good positions, good crossing positions, but it's not always paid off. We did see him against the Chelsea last week, involved in one of the goals, and he's going to be very important for us, I think, going into this game. And like you mentioned, Sesko there, you might be able to, well, you might actually see a crossing from wide left from Dorgu into the box for Sesko with some chances, and let's hope so.
Well, the thing is, if the game isn't going the way we want, Rúben Amorim's got options on the bench, and that's a good thing. And like you say, we did mention Mount earlier on, and if he does come on, then he's a player what can turn it round, gets about everywhere, and he will be chomping at the bit. And I did say about Mason Mount in the pre-season games, he's got everything to prove. He's got the hardest job getting into this team. So for me, you look at the bench, yeah, it's got options, and that's a good thing. And it can turn it if it's not quite ticking.
JK, thanks for your super chat, mate.
Thank you.
Don't want to get too far ahead, but we need 3 in 3. Brentford and Sunderland have to be wins. There should be no excuses. Have a good weekend. Thanks for your super chat, mate. And yeah, I agree with you now.
No, there can't be any excuses. Yeah. We've got bonus points in the minds of a lot of United fans by winning that game against Chelsea. And we spoke a couple of weeks ago, said it not once, said it twice, that we expect at least 7 points, and that takes the pressure off Amorim going into the international break, and then he can have a reset, look at it, see where his players are, see what he's doing, and then face Liverpool at Anfield. So for me, 7 points, it was a must. So you've got to get these 3 points. It's expected, and by rights, I look at this team and I say to myself, it's a good side, a really good side. But now they've got something extra. They've got the aggression. They stood up to Chelsea's aggression. They didn't will in any way. Players faced off. So for me, 100% go at it and 3 points. And then the Sunderland game and just take it to them and steamroll them. Won't be easy. Will not be easy. It
does make me laugh, though, like listening to a lot of people out there, even fans as well, to be honest with you, apart from media pundits, making it as though Manchester United played against 10 men all game and they had that extra man advantage for the full 90, 95 minutes, however minutes we played that game. But just going on to what Rúben Amorim said also in his press conference about being, having Premier League proven additions, he said, you can see that every player you want to be in the Premier League is really expensive. But if you look at our moments last year, you want to take the less risky moves. It's really important to have top players in our team. Do you think that's going to be something moving on to the January transfer window? Possibly, but in particular the summer window where they recruit Premier League proven players again?
I think it's the summer. I can't see anything happening in January. Top players don't tend to move in January. The money situation as well, that might be a problem. And I think they might just look at it at the end of the season. But to get top players, it has to be the summer. Listen, you can go abroad, get a top player, it doesn't work out. Even Rúben Amorim says that. And the same works if you get a Premier League player. Yeah. But when you look at Premier League players and they can do it, you sort of really say to yourself, you've got that little bit more percentage, as if to say, these kids will start from the off. And Kuna and then Mbumo have done exactly that.
Anthony in the chat says a win tomorrow would keep us above some really good teams as well in the Premier League table.
Listen, people have been saying it. Beat Brentford, beat Sunderland. We could be in the top 4. You just don't know. And before anyone quotes me, I have said it before. Me personally, so don't be quoting me as though I said top four like a lot of people have. I don't believe we'll be in the top four because I think other teams there will keep ahead of us. But you've got to win them games, Brentford and Sunderland, and we'll be there or thereabouts. Can we keep it up? Hey, Liverpool's the next game after the international break.
Yeah, Ansel goes back to something that we did mention before as well, and I do agree with him. I want to see the wide players play to their strengths. Dorgu concentrate and cut out the backs, and Mbeumo on the crosses. And that is something that I do see from Mbeumo. He has got that trickery, hasn't he, where he can cut inside and deliver some good crosses. And you've got to think there, the strengths and the aerial ability of Sesko is got to be used from the start, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, I look at Dorgu, for instance, with his crosses. I think he's got more to do on them crosses, to be honest with you. But I look at Mbeumo, in and out, he's going, and he's always looking for someone else, always looking for that cross, and occasionally he gets them shots off. So for me, Mbeumo, I think people are sort of like working with him, and they're buzzing off him. I say buzzing, they're bouncing off him, and the energy is coming off him. So really, you look tomorrow and you say, Delo, how are you going to work with Mbeumo tomorrow? And I think Delo has just had to keep going down that wing and looking for that early ball and get the crossing. Now, as we know, Delo, not the greatest of crossers, does wind me up a lot, winds a lot of people up out there, but he's got to improve. He's been here, I mean, he's old enough, he knows what he's doing, but at the end of the day, he's got to improve. It's just a bit part player now, Delo, just a squad player, and he's got his chance tomorrow. But get them crosses in. Yeah. That's what we need. And the same goes for Dorgu. It's about time them crosses come in. We've got a centre forward who can win headers. Let's get it in.
Back three, Luke Shaw, Maguire and De Ligt. Or do you think Euro comes in for maybe Maguire?
No, it has to be Luke Shaw, it has to be De Ligt, and it has to be Euro. Euro shouldn't be dropped. There's no two ways about it. But like I say, you just don't know. You haven't got a clue sometimes what he's thinking, Rúben Amorim. But for me, it has to be De Ligt, Euro, and Luke Shaw. I think Maguire on the bench, yes, that's a good sub to bring on to hold up the back four, the back three, to add to it, not to take away.
Maguire coming off the bench for the back three, more likely for him to go up front.
Well, that's their mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, an option, not win it.
Yeah, it's an option, but we don't want to see that.
No, I know.
We don't want to see that. It shouldn't be like that. I think what it is, I think if we're leading 2-0 or something like that, or even 1-0 with 15 minutes to go, I think what you have to look at then, you have to look at Maguire stepping in to help the defence. And what you've always got, Maguire doesn't have to jump into the midfield. De Ligt's done that. We've seen how he's performed. He's the one to help out the midfield. So that would be a good combination. I'm just a little bit peeved at the moment. All the times he keeps changing them back three.
I was just going to say.
For no reason.
Yeah.
So for me, no reason.
Yeah. So, when you were just mentioning that, I don't know how you actually ended the conversation there, but when you were saying if we was 2-0 up, I want him just to keep with a back three for the 90 minutes. I don't see the necessary, why he needs to change it, to be honest with you, because I thought when Maguire come off the other night, I thought that actually got Chelsea into the game, to be honest with you. I don't know if it was just because Maguire went off, but it felt to me as though they got more into the game, become more of an attacking threat, whereas before that, I think everything that they're throwing at us, that back three, that back five, just mops everything up, because Bayindir done next to now, let's face it.
Yeah, well, what is that back three held firm?
Yeah.
And what it is, by changing it, it brought pressure on. But Rúben Amorim, as for me, the way it looks with my eye test, I don't know about the facts on a piece of paper, but I just see that he just seems to want to change it. As always, like, no, I normally change it, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to give him a bit of time. Oh, I'm thinking here, but I think he overthinks it. I'll give him a rest. And then he doesn't take into the consequences, the damage it can do by changing things. So for me, he always seems to be tinkering, experimenting and all that. Well, as far as I'm concerned, them experiments, they're over because his job is on the line. There's no more experiments as far as I'm concerned. So doing little changes for no reason when the game's going well is over as far as I'm concerned, because his job really is online. He can't go there tomorrow, lose, and then suffer another loss at Sunderland, right? So he has to just keep that team there. For me, the only difference going out tomorrow really is the low out on the pitch. So I think he's got to play his best 11 and keep his best 11 on the team. We've got plenty of time off. We're always complaining. Rúben Amorim was complaining, I need more time with replays. He's got all that, so he should now be understanding him. But these 2 games are the games where he should put everything in to these players, into the mindset and everything, and say, right, you're now understanding, you're now working, you now know what to do. This is what I expect. I don't expect any more changes for change's sake. That don't make sense to me.
I know there won't be one change, and that's Bruno Fernandes. He'll be definitely starting, but I'm expecting and wanting a big performance from all the players tomorrow. But I think in that centre midfield, we're always looking at it as fans, aren't we? We've all got an opinion on that centre midfield. I want to see a strong and a captain's performance, though, from Bruno tomorrow against Brentford. You know, up against the likes of Jordan Henderson at Brentford, whose legs have clearly gone as well. What player he was. You
want a captain's performance from Bruno every game, but we don't get that. What you want from Bruno, right, is a quiet, verbal Bruno. Keeps his mouth shut, keeps his arms from waving back, doesn't get involved.
Stop being petulant.
Well, you can call it petulance. Yeah. I'm not. You might be right, but if he's just quiet, then he gets on with the game and he works for the team. That's what you want to see. Now, the one conundrum tomorrow is, and everyone's expecting this, is Lammens coming in?
I knew you was going to say that, yeah.
Is Lammens coming in? So for me, maybe not. I haven't got a clue.
Here's a question then for you. Why should he come in?
Why should he come in?
Did Bayindir make any mistakes for you against Chelsea?
I didn't think he had much to do.
Is it the right?
He did really well. So for me, I can't argue with it. I am surprised he didn't come in earlier. But hey, he's made his choice. He's got him in there. And everyone seems happy at the moment. So why change it at the moment? Give Lammens more time. I was all for bringing Lammens in straight away. But hey, at the moment, them back three, them wing backs and everything else, they're all working together. The midfield's working together and the pressure's not on. We are not conceding shots and goals like we was last year. We conceded 2 poor goals against Burnley at home. But
it's individual mistakes, though, isn't it? Really, more than team mistakes. I think when you look at like the goals in isolation against each team. But for me, my take on Lammens would be, if he is thinking about starting him over the next couple of games, I'd leave it for the Sunderland game here at Old Trafford in front of home fans instead of an away game.
Yeah, you might be right. But then again, if he plays a perfect game, Bayindir, what do you do? And I'm the last person to try and second guess Rúben Amorim because he has confused me time and time again. And I'm virtually what I've said about the team. Now, I've never been right about picking that team. So I know it's not going to be the team I think it is, what I've said, because it's never been that way, because he just confuses me in what he says and then what he does.
Yeah, I've heard some positive PR coming out from the likes of Simon Stone recently on what the thoughts and opinions are from the people in the background, in particular the likes of Tom Heaton, and what they think of Sané Lammens. But I've also seen reports, like I think Fury's out there, that United will still be looking at strengthening the goalkeeping department in the actual transfer windows.
Absolute rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Makes no sense whatsoever. Doesn't make sense at all. It's social media. And you talk about social media. He mentioned it today, Rúben Amorim, in conjunction with like a reporter asking about Ahmad. How is he? We know he's going away. And have you spoke to him about social media? He took a bit of stick. Well, as he says there, Rúben Amorim, I tell all my players, turn it off. Turn it off. And at times, I don't look at it. It does me head in at times. Sometimes you get a little bit of information. Sometimes you have a conversation. That's great. But listen, I look at social media this week and I just turned it off.
It's just an absolute cesspit.
Well, what a scene. Listen, Harry Kane coming to Old Trafford. I mean, that's mental. That's social media, and everyone's just running with it. But with Lammens going to get another goalkeeper after bringing in someone to replace the number one doesn't make sense.
To be honest with you,
I think people are just looking for to kill space.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I can maybe see a bit of truth in it. I've got to be honest, just based on the fact that this goalkeeper hasn't actually started a game yet, and he's had 2 opportunities to do so. You know, you look at Andre Onana. I think maybe they were bringing Lammens in on the fact that Andre Onana could possibly stay and they couldn't shift him out of the door. So they was wanting him to get up to speed, give him a bit more time to try and challenge Onana or Bayindir. But me personally, just reading through the lines of what I've seen on social media, reports out there from journalists like from The Athletic over the summer, that Rúben Amorim wanted an experienced goalkeeper in the likes of Martinez from Villa or a Donnarumma. And I do believe that is a position where he wants experience in there.
Well, I would have brought Martinez in. Boom. Job done. Experience, it's in there. But he never come in. So you got to say, Lammens is in there. So you wouldn't go and get another experienced goalkeeper next summer. But that's my opinion. That's how I see it. You might be right, Kieran.
Yeah, but I see it from the point of the Lammens is actually a club signing. It's not an Amorim signing, if you get what I mean out there.
Yeah.
That it's the club that have seen him, you know, based on his profile, his age, that he's got all the potential there to be a top goalkeeper. Who knows? You know, only time will tell. But I think Amorim, he hasn't got time. Let's face it, the contract that he signed there at Manchester United, he's only got another season on top of this season. So he does need experience in certain positions, and he definitely needs it for me in goal. Well, that's just my opinion, though. I could totally be wrong, but let me know what you think.
Well, I can't agree with you. I can't disagree with you. Like you say,
just agree.
I won't agree, no. No, just because you're my son, no. Right? I'm having none of it. No, time will only tell with what goes on. But that's the same with all transfers. I mean, over the last week or two, all I've seen is people talking about transfers and that. I mean, I just don't get it, me. But, hey, that's the world we live in. Social media, turn it off. Just like he says, Rúben Amorim, all the players, turn it off. And it would help, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's more so like the negative opinions and whatnot, what goes out on there on social media, especially like when you refer to Ahmad and that picture with Garnacho, etc. I didn't see a lot of comments out there, I've got to be honest with you, but anything that was negative towards Ahmad, it just shows you what the cesspit is of social media, unfortunately. And let's just hope it's not got to him in any way as well, Ahmad, because he's a player for me, is that the future of Manchester United, and he will be a top player. He's far from the complete player at the moment, Ahmad, but I'm sure he will be, and let's hope he's here in a few years at United, as long as he keeps his feet on the floor, though, well, and he gives it every day in training as well.
Well, I think with Ahmad, it's a pivotal year for him and a few other players, to be honest with you, because come next summer, Rúben Amorim will know exactly 2 or 3 players aren't good enough. They're not going to make it, and he's going to replace them. So for me, Ahmad he's on that, because I don't believe he's playing in the right position anyway. So he's got it all to do, and Mason Mount's got it all to do as well.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank you all for keep getting involved with your own opinions on the game, giving you also your starting selections. People are going with Sesko, Cunha and Mbumo up top. Anyone else with a different opinion, though, let us know in the actual chat. But what, shall I dare to ask you an actual score prediction?
No. Ask me a score prediction, because I'm confident. I'm confident. I think it'll be 3-0. I do. I really think United will go for the throat from the off. And I think that's what they have to do every game. They have to make teams like think and say, hey, we've got to roll this Manchester United. You know, they look at it, teams, just hold Man United for 10, 15 minutes and then we'll just open them up. I can't see that happening at Brentford tomorrow. I think 3-0 is the right way to go with a good score. That's
your opinion, 3-0. Let us know yours out there, but just basing it on that, on a 3-0. scoreline, I think it'd be more important us actually keeping that clean sheet than it would be scoring 3 goals. I think that would actually give the team more confidence, especially the goalkeeper in between the sticks. It was the only thing I was really disappointed with the other night against Chelsea, that we couldn't hang on and get that clean sheet, because that would have done him a world of good, I think, Bayindir, plus the back three. So let's hope we can get into this game and keep one.
I think when you go away from home, you expect pressure at times, without a doubt. I'm not expecting 90 minutes pressure from Brentford, like you say, 5 at the back. They might play, you know what I mean? But they will have their chances, and I do expect them to score. Their crowd will demand it, and they've scored goals against us before. So for me, I think 3-1 is a sensible score for Man United. They have to get the 3 points. They have to go to the for the throat and just rub it in and get them early goals. And I think that's exactly how United will start this game off, going for the throat and get the early goals.
Yeah, I've seen people say a draw, seen a 2-0 to Manchester United. Ansel from our members clubs going 4-1 Manchester United.
There you go.
I like that one, mate. A lot of positivity as well. But for me right now, just to get that back-to-back wins, another 3 points, keeps us high up the table as well. I'd take a 1-0 right now. I've got to be honest with you.
Well, that's the famous line on this channel. You know, when we're really worried and we're expecting 3 points or anything, we always revert back to that wonderful line. Do you know what? Right now, I'd take a 1-0. You know, I think we've used that line about 1,000 times, to be honest with you, because like we're desperate for the 3 points.
Have we actually won the game though when we've used that line? I can't remember.
Very, very rare have we ever won it when we've said I'll take 1-0 now.
Well, I'm going 2-1 Manchester United.
There you go. That's better.
That's changing it around.
Yeah, I'll take a 1-0 now. We're not going to use that again.
Yeah, just like to thank you all for joining us. Thought we'd just do a bit of a brief overview on everything that's been going on in the world of Manchester United. Obviously some updates from Rúben Amorim's press conference as well. Patrick says I'd scrape a 1-0 win and be happy. Nikos P 2-1 to Manchester United. Someone else, I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, my mate. Actually, I'm not sorry, because you're saying 3-0 Brentford. That's not the positivity I want to be seeing in this live chat, my mate. So, yeah, get involved in the comment section below. Smash a like for the win against Brentford on Saturday, and we'll be back straight after the game with a match reaction. So come and join us and get that notification on. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.